Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing this beautiful cut crease look using the new the Fortune palette from ColourPop Cosmetics, and I love both of the palettes. It's Fame and Fortune, but I'm using the Fortune palette today, and it's such a beautiful palette. The colors are so nice, and I just got really inspired by one of the colors, and I really wanted to do a makeup look, so here it is. And if you want to see how to create this look, just keep watching. Alright, so first I'm going to go ahead and do my brows, and I've actually been changing it up a little bit. I'm using the Brow Last Long Wearing Brow Gel from Physicians Formula. It looks like this, and it's in the color light brown. And it has a little spoolie at the top, and then like a little brush to kind of just paint on to your brow hairs. So that's what I've been using, and I actually really like it, and I don't really have to do much afterwards because it fills it in really good. So this is what I do. So I kind of just start painting it very lightly over my brow hairs. And then using the spoolie, I just brush it out and kind of distribute that color around my brows and just fill it in, and it's super easy. And it also just kind of dyes my hairs a little bit darker and makes those stand out a little bit more, and gives it more of a natural look, I think. So that's what I've been doing. To touch it up and define my brows, I use the Revlon Makeup Revolution, I use the Revlon Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer. It is in the color C7. And I like this one. I've been using this for my highlight too, just because it's not that bright, but it is maybe a little bit lighter than my foundation, and I like that because I don't want that super white look anymore. So today we're using ColourPop's one of their new palettes, the Fortune palette, and I really love this palette just because it has all these like warm tones and shimmery shades, and then a few berry colors. I think it's really pretty, and I think it goes really well with the Fame palette as well. So I'm using this today. I was really inspired because when I opened it up, I saw this shade Miser, and it was so gorgeous. So I was like, I need to use this in a tutorial. So to start, we're going to use the color Wiser, and that's just going to go all over the crease, kind of as a transition color. And I just put more of that concealer from Makeup Revolution as my eyeshadow base. Nothing fancy. And I'm bringing that color all the way to the inner corner, I really want it to just stand out. It's a nice transition color because I'm going to bring some more colors down to that inner corner as well. So I just want it all nice and even. And then I'm taking the shade Riche. I think it's Riche or Rich. I think it's Riche. R-I-C-H-E. This one. That's going to go on top of Wiser. Oh, Miser, not Wiser. Wiser. Yeah, Wiser. There's Wiser and Miser. And I'm just kind of packing that on and blending it out, and then using what's left to just blend towards the inner corner. I'm so glad I can finally film for you guys. Got some new lights, some that don't take forever to set up, so I'm super excited about that. And I can store them pretty easily, so that's one of the biggest hassles for me whenever I wanted to create a tutorial, because the light boxes were just huge and they're just a pain to set up and then break down. So these new ones are they're more compact and brighter, and I can move them around more and then just take them down and put them in their own little carrier bag. Alright, so next I'm going to be taking some of the color Trove, and that's going to go into the outer corner. And I'm just using these blending brushes from Morphe, nothing special, they're just fluffy. And this is more of a berry color, which I really love this color. And just packing that into the outer corner. And then I'm also taking the color 500, which is a little bit darker, more brown color. And I'm packing that into that outer V as well, just to darken it up and make it a little bit more brown. Now to darken it up a little bit more, I'm taking the color Fortunate. And I'm using a Sigma Exact Blend E32 brush. So I really want it packed on that the lower outer V, I'd say. Then I'm bringing it in a little bit, kind of winging it. And then I'm blending that out. Just kind of flicking it out, kind of winging it. Alright, now to cut the crease, I am using the same concealer from Makeup Revolution and just a small concealer brush from Morphe. It is the M421. Taking a little bit of that because I don't want a lot whenever I'm first cutting it out. So now I'm just taking a Sigma Medium Sweeper E40 or 54 brush, and I'm dipping it into the color Miser, which is a beautiful, like, pinky purpley shimmery color, and I am all for it. And I also sprayed it with some MAC Fix Plus. And I'm just going to pack that on. Just really press and then slide down. Now that I'm done with the cut crease, I'm going to put on a little bit of that Strike It color, which is a nice dark brown. I wouldn't call it like purpley brown. I wouldn't call it a black because it's not black enough. So I'm using that same exact blend brush, and I'm just kind of winging it too. Bringing it in just a little bit. And then blending it out, just kind of blending a little upward, making sure that that cut crease is really nice and blended at the end. And then just doing the same, putting some more Strike It's on the lid. Okay, so now I'm using the MAC Black Track Fluid Liner, and this is just going to kind of wing out my eyeshadow, or not, I'm going to create a wing, but it's going to be like a smoked out wing. Not super defined because I don't want it like that. And then using that exact blend brush, I'm going to kind of just smoke it out. So just to kind of blend in that shadow and that liner, I'm going to use the Strike It color again, just kind of go over it. And then I'm pretty much done with the eyes for right now. I just got to do the bottom half of my lid, and I'm going to do that after I put on all my foundation and whatnot. So we're going to do that now. And then today for my eyeshadow, I'm using the 24 Hour Foundation by Maybelline in the color 120 or Classic Ivory. And now for my contour, I'm using the Fenty Beauty Matchsticks in Truffle. And I actually started using this a different way instead of just, you know, marking it on my face. I've been taking a Morphe G40 brush and kind of just painting it with that product, and then putting it where I want it. And I kind of feel like this gives it a more natural look, and you can control better how much you put onto your cheeks and how dark your contour is, which is what I like. And I like that it really looks more diffused instead of like a harsh contour. I just want some nice high cheekbones. And I'm just pressing it in too. I feel like this is a lot easier than whenever I put it on with just the stick, because I feel like when I spread it, whenever I try to blend it out that way, I feel like I kind of just moved some foundation around and kind of took some of it off when I did it that way. Now back into the Revolution concealer for my highlight. Actually, no, rewind. Now for my under eyes first, I like to kind of help brighten and conceal them a little bit with the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector, and I'm starting to use the color in medium instead of the pink color, just because I feel like this might make it look a little bit more natural instead of bright pink, which whenever I tried the bright pink one after using this, I did notice that it doesn't really help as much to take away the purpleness of my under eye area. Alright, so now we're dipping into the concealers from Makeup Revolution again in C7. When I look on the screen, it looks really bright, but it's actually not that bright compared to the color I was using before from this concealer. It was the C5, which isn't super bright either, but it was brighter than this, and it's funny because it doesn't look as bright as it does on camera in person. Since I have the concealer out, I'm also going to just define that wing. Well, not really wing, but the outer situation we got going on here. So I'm just defining that outer V a little bit more using the concealer, and I'm just pretty much drawing a straight line. I don't want it like too wingy where it curves up. I want it kind of just going straight out. I'm just blending that down. Alright, so I popped on some Ardell Wispie lashes, and these are probably my favorite, what I wear with almost every look, just because they're super natural looking but give you some length and some extra volume, and I think that looks a lot nicer than super dramatic eyelashes, at least for me, and they're easier to wear. So, I mean, I do love my dramatic lashes, but on a day-to-day when I'm not going out somewhere, these are what I put on. So, now for my lips, I'm using the ColourPop Lippie pencil in the color Toy, and I did not plan this, but I guess I'm just using nothing but ColourPop products for my eyes and for my lips. But anyways, so I'm just lining them. And then I'm taking the ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip in Aquarius from the, I think it's from the Kathleen Lights collection. And it's like a nice nude color without being too light or too pinky or too peachy. So I really like this color, and it's probably gonna be one of my go-to colors from now on. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I love this palette, and I can't wait to make more looks using it, and I also love the Fame palette, so I'm going to have to throw a little tutorial in for that too. But this palette is awesome. The colors are good. The shadows are nice and blendable and opaque. I love the pigmentation on them. So this is a really good palette. I definitely recommend everyone getting it just because the colors are nice, and they're kind of, there's enough colors in there where you can make an everyday look that's not super dramatic or turn it into a dramatic look like this. So yeah, all the products I use will be listed down below. Remember to hit like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.